Senator Gary Peters is pushing a bill that would help veterans who may have been erroneously given an administrative discharge from the military rather than an honorable discharge because of certain mental health issues.
Yeah, Senator Peters joins us right now to tell us more about this bill. What kind of mental health concerns are we talking about here, Senator?
Well, we're talking about the types of illnesses that can occur from being in a very stressful situation as a result of combat or other stressful situations while serving overseas. So what happens is that some folks get discharged because of some behaviors that are altered as a result of suffering from post-traumatic disorder, for example, PTSD. And unfortunately, if you get discharged with a less than honorable discharge, you don't have access to some of the VA benefits, which is the place where you go to be treated for those illnesses.
And those are called administrative discharges. Is that right?
That's right, administrative discharge. So anything less than honorable. And if you have an administrative discharge or dishonorable, you do not qualify for VA benefits. And what we found, there have been a number of cases, is that what happens if you're suffering from PTSD, you may have altered behavior, and those altered behaviors may have led you to have that sort of discharge. Later, you find out that you're actually suffering an invisible wound from your service and from your combat duty. And this bill will allow you to go back to appeal that as long as you have medical evidence and the VA certifies that there's medical evidence that you're actually suffering from PTSD, which led to those behaviors, allow you to get your discharge changed, and then you can get to the VA and get the help that you need.
Senator,
and we have an obligation as citizens to make sure the men and women who've served get the help that they need.
You know, talk to us about the behaviors you're talking about that could lead to this administrative discharge. These are not super serious offenses per se?
Well, not necessarily serious offenses. You know, the behavior can change. You may become depressed, so you don't show up for musters, you aren't showing up for duty, or you're missing it, and then finally people say, you know, that's it, we're going to be discharging you out of the military. But it may be because of some of the symptoms of PTSD and the depression that results from that has really changed your behavior. I mean, that's kind of a classic symptom of PTSD, are changed behaviors. But if they're not diagnosed, people will believe that that person just is no longer a good service member, discharge them, but then find out it's really because of their service in combat that they are suffering those wounds. And so we know a lot more about PTSD than we did in the past. We've got to do a better job of recognizing it, making sure the diagnosis is there, and then making sure these men and women get the help they need. That's why my legislation's been endorsed by the VFW, by Disabled Veterans of America, other veterans groups, because they realize this is a problem that we need to address.
Two quick questions. How did you get involved in this personally, and then how likely do you think this is going to be to pass?
Well, you know, I work a lot with veterans and want to make sure that veterans are getting the care that they need. We work regularly in Michigan and work with our local VAs, and this issue came to my attention. So I have taken it up, and in order to get it passed, you know, we have to do it on a bipartisan way. I don't introduce bills unless I have a Republican with me, so it's both a Democrat and Republican. I have two Republicans, Senator Daines and Senator Tillis, supporting this with me, and I've talked to Senator McCain, who is the chairperson of the Armed Services Committee, where this bill will go, and he has expressed willingness to work with me as well.
Well, that's wonderful. That is good to hear. Thank you for your work on this, and keep us posted for sure. Senator Gary Peters, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, a beautiful